Hello and welcome back to Gimme Golf. Today I am at a very special course at the Cheshire Course at Carden Park. We start our adventure with another par 3. It's only 130 yards, but we know I don't like a par 3 start. Elected to take pitching wedge, and sadly I have just pulled that one a little bit, just left of the bunker. Not the worst lie in the world, so electing for a 60-degree chip over the danger, and control on this one was okay actually, so I've got it over. The ball lands nice and softly on the green, leaving me a putt for par, which is always nice. Sadly, this is where that forewarning comes in, as I absolutely skull that putt across the green and nearly off the back. This leaves me with a lot of danger, given I've probably got about 12 foot to get it back, but luckily the next putt is fairly soft and allows me to put it in, sadly for a double bogey start. Right, we are on to hole 2, which is a par 5, which means driver is coming out the bag, a club that I've been putting a lot of work into, and I have flushed that one straight down the middle. I think it's so important in winter to be able to hit this club to make up distance, given the lies aren't always the best, which we will see here. As I thin my 6 iron 145 yards, which leaves me a 9 iron into the green, which I have also managed to push just past the bunker on the right. And then for the chip shot, there was actually a guy stood to the right of me who was a little bit odd, which is the best excuse I'm ever going to have, as I thin this one straight through the green and into the shit at the back. A little chip out should see me out of that danger in one, which is always nice. Could have probably been a little bit more aggressive, and left myself another long putt, which is downhill, always a danger, and control just not there. Left myself a short putt for recovery though. And again, sadly, just not sinking them at present, which leaves me with, again, another dangerous putt, which I managed to clean up and walk away from the par 5 with a triple bogey. Now, being 5 over after just 2 holes is always disheartening, so it's good to see a short par 4 straight off the bat. Downhill as well, so electing for driver to make up some distance. And again, I've knocked that one straight down the middle, which certainly makes up for the putting on the last hole. Big carry, and leaves me a very short chip into the green, which I take full advantage of with my first green in regulation of the day. If you don't like that, I don't know what's wrong with you, but we have the putting coming up again, and I sense we might have a theme emerging as I just obliterate that one past the hole. All credit to Carden Park, because the greens, despite being aerated, were certainly running today, which was causing me a few problems that are pretty evident to see in HD as it stands, with our third 3-putt of the day coming into play for a bogey. We managed to steady the ship there with a bogey as we come onto the par 4 4th. Playing around 320 yards today, I believe, taking driver out the bag once again, and then just getting a little bit fadey with it. Not my biggest hit, that one, didn't quite feel it. I'm very conscious of the danger on the left, but missed the bunker, leaving me a pitching wedge in. Sadly coming up a little bit short, which has been a common theme with this club on the channel so far. Usually hitting that one about 130. But still left myself with a short chip on, using the ping chipper today. Just gives me a lot of confidence around the greens. A little bit of break on this one, leaving me with a putt. Now we all know what's happening with my putts at the moment, and again, I may as well have kicked that one across the green at that stage. I've left myself just as long a putt on the way back down to try and stop this from being another double bogey. And ironically, I leave that one short. Now I have to admit, I am a confidence player, and being 8 over after 4 holes is not the way we wanted to start the day. Taking driver again, but at this point I'm sort of in my own head, don't get the cleanest contact, and just survive the double bunkers on the left there on the par 4. I'm really going into survival mode here to try and keep the score from escalating, rather than just focusing on enjoying and playing golf in effect, which is what I've gone out to do. I think the cameras certainly add some pressure onto the situation. Everyone's getting to watch me as I struggle my way around this golf course, and the putting being offline as well. But I feel like on this hole I started to get a feel for the greens, the pace, what I need to do, and escape with another bogey. After that glimmer of hope, sadly the drive is just offline. What you can't see on this video is my second shot, because sadly didn't record it, but there's my third, which was a topped I want to say 5-iron before I hit an 8-iron into a tree, leaving myself with a chip that comes up short off the back of it, which then leaves me with a short chip into the green, which is fine. But frustrated with this hole, I then don't have my putter, so I use the chipper to try and put in the short putt. I will show you how that goes right now. Just fantastic. So lesson learned there about taking the time and having the patience as I hit another triple bogey on this adventure. I promised I would be honest on this channel, and at this stage my head is gone. I'm not really concentrating, and I managed to top my driver despite being my favourite club on the day, before hitting a 6-iron left of the trees, leaving myself with a very difficult shot in. However, I'm quite up for this one with a 9-iron. I do manage to just poke it through those trees, and actually it's a big old shot as it goes off the back of the green. And it leaves me with a chip back on, a downhill chip as well, so very conscious of not trying to overhit that one, and just keeping myself in play. Very much just playing for the back nine now. I know in my head at this point I must have a very high score, so I'm not really focused on the front nine anymore and just playing through. And ironically that leads to my best spell of putting on the day for a double bogey. Now this next hole is a treat. It's a 206 yard par 3 that is uphill in winter. I have never been begging for a temporary green more than taking on this next shot. Elected to hit 6-iron in the hopes that I could lay up short and chip in, which I do manage, albeit it will be from the bunker. Don't have the bunker shot, but did manage to get it out for one, which I was pretty pleased with, leaving myself with a slightly dangerous putt, but one that I felt that I could take on. Felt more confident having had a bit of a feel of the greens, and felt I'd read this one well. Sadly, I also managed to push it about 5 feet past the hole, which was just a common theme on the day. I didn't have a lot of feel, it was cold, and I really need to address my putting woes at this point, given they're costing me points on the scorecard, as again I managed to come up short trying to compensate for having hit it so hard the first time. That brings us on to the par 4 9th, playing about 340. At this stage I just really want to play this safe. For me, I'm thinking in my head, if I can get a bogey out of this, then that'll be a good place to start for the back nine. Treat this as 2 rounds of golf, have the front nine as one and the back nine as the other, and that is exactly what you'll see in these videos. I managed to hit an okay drive. The most important thing was that I missed that bunker. I managed to carry it and then hit a pretty decent 6-iron there into the green. Was very happy with that shot, and it came down in a nice space for me, leaving me with a little chip. Managed to hit the chip fairly well, a little bit short as you could probably see from the chunk, but the putt felt good and it gave me a very easy tap in for bogey.
Like it.
And ladies and gentlemen, so ends one of the worst front nines I've had in a long time. Little bit dejecting, but actually I took a lot of positives away from it, because the worst thing by a mile was my putting, and that's where I tended to end up adding most of the strokes to my scorecard. So at the turn, the practice green was right in front of me, which was a sign to go and spend some good time on feel and get focused, make sure the putter's working for me rather than against me, in time for me to play the back nine. Now, it wasn't the most vintage golf today, but I can promise you that back nine gets a lot better, and I'm very excited to bring that video to you at some point next week. So until then, please do drop a subscribe and a like for the video, and I will see you next time.